Go.
Hello, everybody. This is Setsua. And welcome to the very first episode of Talk Xbox to Me. I'm very excited to be here with you all today, and let's get ahead and get this party started with our host, Tennek. Tennek, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good. And we also have a new host with us as well, and his name is Shiny. Shiny, how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty all right, Just going about my day.
Nice, man. All right, Shiny, why don't you go ahead and tell the audience a little bit about yourself?
So in terms of how long I've been playing Xbox, it's been since the original Xbox. Now, to be fair, it wasn't my Xbox, but that doesn't matter. Been playing probably since all the way back since Halo 2. And I would say that my favorite video game titles are probably going to be Dark Souls series, Borderlands series, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and I want to say the Mortal Kombat series.
Oh, okay. Nice. Right. I like the Mortal Kombat series. It's been a while since I've played it, but I do remember growing up with it, especially like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and all the fun fighting games.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, let's go ahead and jump into the little topics of discussions that we have today. And the very first one that we're going to be talking about is the PlayStation boss is insulting the Xbox crowd, the system, everything Xbox. And here's to tell you all the information. Tennek, go ahead and lead us down.
Oh, man. All right. So, as you guys know, it's no secret. I've been more jumping towards Xbox this generation, probably more than ever. And keep in mind, guys, I started this console generation as 100% PlayStation. I wanted no involvement with Xbox. Wasn't really too crazy about the Nintendo Wii. a Sony fanboy. Over time, now I elevated more towards the towards Microsoft. I really enjoyed what Phil Spencer was doing and what he's been building here. Since the Series X announcement, I've been pretty excited, pretty ecstatic. I've been following things very closely, keeping my ears glued to the ground on all details Series X and Series S. I personally actually just recently pre-ordered the Xbox Series S. And then shortly right after the announcement, of course, just like typical press, I hear this nice little rumor that the good old PlayStation boss has a few choice words about the Xbox Series S. And what bothers me is he says that apparently consoles have went this direction before and it hasn't worked. The thing that bugs me about that is, what consoles is he talking about? I've never heard of any generation where there was a weaker version of a console and a larger version besides this generation.
That's true.
And according to both companies, the PS4 and PS4 Pro, the Series S and the Xbox One S and Xbox One X were both successes. Last time I checked, the One S was a relief over the original Xbox One model. You know, where you were forced to have the Kinect and all that extra crap. So I don't understand his logic here.
So he's pretty much just crapping on things, just to crap on things, basically. Just talking that S.
I mean, unless he has some. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm no game developer. I don't work in the industry or anything. But unless he has some crazy insight that I've never seen, and mind you, I've been playing video games since the 90s. I'm 33 years old.
Same here.
I have no idea what he's talking about. There have been other console add-ons and things. Sure, you know, I'm sure you guys have seen the different variations that Sega and Nintendo have done with their consoles in the past. But then again, those have all been successes. The Nintendo 3DS was just discontinued this year. Anybody remember when the DS itself first came out?
Whew, I couldn't tell you, man.
Probably 07, I think.
Yeah, and I hope he ain't gonna look me in the eye and tell me the DS was a failure.
No, that wasn't a failure. I don't even really play too much.
The DS that beat his PSP. Just saying.
Yeah, pretty much. Poor PSP. I mean, that thing. Oh, I like the PSP, but that was the last handheld system I ever bought, and it just was nothing on there for me. So, yeah, it pretty much destroyed the PSP.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't get what he's talking about.
You know, I don't know either, because I remember the only thing I could think of when it comes to slimming down models is like the PlayStation 3 came out, then the PlayStation 3 Slim. I think there was when it came to Xbox 360, it all kind of looked the same to me, except for like maybe the Xbox 360 Elite, which was just a darker color than the other one.
Yeah, they did make that one model called like the 360E or something. It kind of looked like a tiny Xbox One.
Yeah,
but, I mean,
exactly.
Those consoles were all great. The 360 that was their best-selling console, right?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah. Yeah, it was their best-selling console all the way up until the very last moment, and then PlayStation did like a little bit above it.
Yeah, the skin of their damn teeth.
Yeah, basically. Which is like, it's funny he talks all that mess, because I remember hearing an article, and I don't want to turn this into like a big PlayStation, I hate PlayStation thing. I don't hate PlayStation. You know, like, I don't hate PlayStation. I don't. There's a lot of games that I like on there that are old school JRPGs. But at the same time, it's like, you can't expect for us not to say anything negative about PlayStation if the boss of that actually comes out and starts dogging everybody on Xbox. It's like, okay, well, yeah, of course we're gonna fire back or clap back, whatever you want to. You know, so it's like, I remember an article a long time ago saying if the PlayStation 4 didn't do as great as it did now, there would be no PlayStation coming out that's it. It'd be done. It's over. Because they can't spend as much money as they can, like Microsoft. let's be honest, like Microsoft is a multi-billion-dollar corporation. Like
Yeah.
they could just keep on going. Sony makes billions, but not really so much for the gaming department. They have other things that they focus on.
Yeah.
Microsoft, they have gaming and software and the list goes on.
Yeah, it's like literally what do you use? Like, look at your PC. Majority
Yeah.
of our PCs is what? Windows 10.
Exactly.
Yep, exactly. Most
Like
of them,
when I push Windows G on my gaming PC and Xbox UI comes up.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. The good old little window. It's like, there you go. So it's, I guess, like, from his perspective, I'm guessing, this is just my opinion, but maybe he sees, like, okay, Xbox is coming out swinging hard. They're a threat. So now I have to kind of, like, dog them a little bit. And it's like, okay, that's fine. He can say, and I'll probably agree with him a little bit, that the past Xbox consoles that have been out, the games, Microsoft hasn't backed the Xbox brand as much. It's kind of obvious when the Xbox One first came out and they started talking about cable TV and watching whatever TV show or sports game while you're playing a video game. Nobody's doing that. Not even the casual gamer is not going to pull up a little window on the side of the corner and be like, oh, let me watch this, TV show while I watch or while I play insert game. So they really trashed it themselves. Microsoft did. So yeah, they could say that, but this generation's different. This generation is coming out with bangers. I mean, this is like Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S. Oh, by the way, it's only $300. Yeah, we'll go ahead and take a little bit of the L when it comes to getting our money back. But long term, that Game Pass,
they got it back. They're getting it back.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you exactly how they're
Pass,
getting it back, because there's one thing about the Series S that pisses me off.
Oh, the memory.
Yeah. Bro,
how much is that expansion?
$220.
$20. Crazy.
Yep. You might as well go ahead and buy the X at that point. But that's all right. Because, for me, when I play a game and I beat it, I don't want to get too much off topic, but when I play a game and I beat it, I uninstall it.
Right.
Most of the time, I have no interest in just keeping it on there. And if there's a DLC about to come out, then yeah, I'll reinstall it. Or if I want to play it again a couple months down the road, yeah, I'll reinstall it. But I don't let games build up on my system. So for me, it's not that big of a deal. The only thing that sucks is all those software updates and all those hardware updates and all this other stuff. So, but for me, it's not too big. Not too big of a deal.
And on top of what the PlayStation boss said about seeing this in the past, I'm still confused on what console he was talking about, because the only other thing I can think of is Nintendo Switch Lite, and it's doing great last time I checked.
Yeah, that's it. That's a success too. Like, I've never seen one scenario where this hasn't worked. I mean, all of PlayStation and Microsoft's consoles besides this generation have just been regular and slim versions. And their slims always helped because the larger boys almost always had some type of overheating issue. And when they made the slim version, they usually had that problem perfected. But the only guys I could see that have done this before is Nintendo, and every system I can think of that they've done this with has been a success. Game Boy, Game Boy Pocket, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Advance SP, freaking Nintendo DS, 3DS, 3DS XL, 3DS Lite, 3DS this, 3DS that. They've all worked.
Wow.
So I don't
know.
Like, I'm not even trying to take shots at the guy. I have no clue what the hell he's talking about.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like, even if it's someone like me that the last time I ever really honestly played a Nintendo product, for handheld, it would be Game Boy Advance.
Right.
And I know that outdates me quite a bit. And also the Nintendo GameCube. And still, I know that's been a long time. I know probably the
That
Nintendo
was one of
people are
my
listening
favorite
going,
consoles, to be honest.
yeah, yes, Fire Emblem is probably, I would say one of my favorite Nintendo games is Fire Emblem. I love it. I actually would, if I had the money, I would have bought a Nintendo Switch just for that new Fire Emblem game. Oh, I would have definitely bought it in a heartbeat, but I had to buy more Xbox stuff, so I was like, well, I had to choose.
Right.
I had to buy the Xbox X, the One X, so because my other system had died off of me, and I was like, oh, but but yeah, I mean, if there's like, all we could do is, I will say, is we're gonna have to prove them wrong with our money.
Oh
So
yeah.
Microsoft is great to hear that. They're excited. Yeah, please do spend more. But it's like, we got to prove them wrong now. We can sit there and shout back and forth. And honestly, he's probably nice and comfortable in his office. He ain't really going to care about what any of us really say. But so all we got to do is just make Microsoft the number one brand, or at least try our hardest to do that. To kind of clap back and be like, look, what you said was stupid, and here's why. And now the Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X are sold out.
Yeah.
You can't get one right now. It's done. I remember when the Xbox One first was like, you could go for pre-order. There were still spots you could pre-order the Xbox One because not many people were pre-ordering that bad boy. Like, I remember it was just like, oh yeah, you can pre-order anytime you want. You want to know why? Because no one's really buying it, especially with that Connect.
Yeah. I don't remember hearing people having much trouble pre-ordering the Xbox One or even the PS4 that much for that matter. My uncle, he had got one for my cousins at launch. He didn't give it to them until Christmas, of course, because that's what he bought it for, a Christmas gift. But
Yeah.
he got the PS4, the PS3, and the PS2 at launch all pretty easily. Now, granted, during those times we weren't dealing with a global pandemic, but
Yeah, people are in their house, just in their house.
yeah.
Oh man, yeah. So that's pretty much all we could do. Right? Is
Um,
just buy a bunch of Game Pass.
yeah. But speaking of that, did you guys pre-order new consoles? I mean, how are y'all feeling about getting the new ones? Y'all want to go next gen now? You waiting? How y'all feeling?
I am, for me personally. Wait, let me make sure. Sorry, my camera is off. For me personally, I'm getting the Xbox Series S. I could have went with the X, but you know, uh, I just decided to go with the S just to kind of touch the waters a little bit. I'm not really in the rush to go 4K gaming. I mean, I have 4K TV. I know, like right off the bat, a lot of people are scratching their head. Then why not just get the? I'm like, nah, it's cool. It's chill. I just want to kind of feel around a little bit, and then maybe as some time goes by, I'll probably upgrade to the big boy. But right now, I'm just getting the small dude. For me personally, right now at least.
Okay. What about you,
Um,
Shiny?
so I did not pre-order either of them, and the reason being, well, I plan on getting the Series X. Like, it's gonna happen. It's
Yeah.
just gonna happen. Most likely in January or December. And the only reason why, there's nothing I cannot play right now. There's nothing that I can play on Series X that I cannot play on Xbox, my Xbox One X right now. There's no next gen games out right now. Like everything that you really want to play is on last gen right now. And even if it is on last gen and you want to play it on next gen, there's a bunch of upgraded bundles that are they just pop up now. That's just what the thing that we're doing
Right.
now. If you buy it on the previous console, get the upgrade bundle.
Yeah, especially at
And
Microsoft. They're real friendly with the whole smart delivery thing.
Yeah.
yeah, um, and yeah, that's just about my take on it. Just felt like I don't need it yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Me personally, as you guys both know already, I went ahead and pre-ordered the Series S. Two reasons. A, obviously, content creator. Duh. Just had to and knock that one out. But also I've never actually bought a console at launch before, so it's kind of just something I wanted to personally do. But I do gotta say that I agree with both your takes in here. One, I feel like the Series X is a little bit of overkill, and like, don't get me wrong, it's pretty. We're going to the next gen. The consoles need to be more powerful, better graphics and stuff like that. But when I went ahead and I dived right into the Xbox One X this generation, and the big thing that Microsoft and Sony were both toting at the time with these consoles were, oh, it's going to be upgradable. They're just like phones. You have your iPhone 6 and then your 6S and your 6X and whatever. iPhone 7, 7S, 7X, and yada, yada, yada. But the newer consoles that they released, the ones that they were toting were, were going to be these big, bad 4K machines. They're the first ones to die.
Yeah.
The Xbox One X is discontinued. So why do I want to go do that again for the following generation with the Series X when they might do the same thing all over again? Now, granted, it won't be probably for another 5 to 7 years from now, but...
Yeah, probably about 5 years.
My only take on that one in this situation, though, is that the Xbox One X came at the end of a generation. And yes, I see you already said that. Yeah. But the Series X also has some technology in there that the Series S does not have.
Yeah.
So I can still see it being around longer than the Series X. Right. Or Series X being around longer than Series S. Just because it has the more next-gen stuff. So I'm just thinking to myself, like, just get the next-gen stuff now. And even though they say that you want to upgrade it, I don't upgrade my phone very often. Yeah. So I don't plan on upgrading my Xbox very often.
Right.
Now, unless I have an iPhone, which I don't. But, yeah.
Lucky, because apparently you can't play any of the Game Pass games on iPhone. And guess what your boy is stuck here with?
Well, trust me, I'm going back to Android as soon as I can.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
Shoot, hashtag free Fortnite Apple, you can eat me.
Yeah, oh man, that's what, and Apple did that on purpose, man. They're just sticking it to people left and right.
Oh yeah,
because they're trying their own stupid little, was it Apple Arcade or something? Yeah. I looked at Apple Arcade and I was like, this is trash. Like, I'm not trying to, of course I'm biased, but at the same time, I'm like literally looking at this going, there's nothing really here. Not for me, in my opinion, but there's just nothing there. No good RPGs, really no good shooting type games, and all the other stuff, you don't, like Apple Arcade, I think you pay $5.
Something
they
like
took
that,
Fortnite off of Apple devices. That's so crazy to me.
Jesus, yeah, see? So Apple eventually is gonna they're gonna eventually put the Game Pass stuff on there, or that's just, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, because if they never patch up with Epic again, they're gonna need something to compensate for that. Because not only are they doing that, but they're also trying to get Unreal Engine banned from their devices too, which in my opinion
is ridiculous.
Really stupid, because that's a very common and free engine used by developers.
It is.
At this point, and everyone now, they want to tote mobile gaming, but Apple's about to shit on gaming big time.
Yeah, they are. Apple's good for like business type stuff because people, they like to do business. Like my wife is a good example. She loves the Apple products for business. She's not a gamer as much, but for me, I'm a gamer, and I'm like, well, I don't really. Where's my Android?
Right.
So, that's what it is. I think the Xbox, after maybe 3, 4, I'm going to say 4 years, they're going to come out with like an Xbox Series SX or SS or something. And that's probably just going to be like a little upgrade. And then maybe 5-6 year mark, they'll probably come out with a Xbox Series XX. Because if they don't get the 3 X's in there, then what was all this for? Because
right.
Because because like, come on, you can't miss a good joking opportunity like that. Like,
Um,
Xbox is now like triple X.
right. Did y'all hear the rumor about the Xbox Series V? And hey, what's up, Dynamite? Did y'all hear about the Series
Yeah,
V?
I did hear about the rumors of the Series V, and I really wanted them to be true because I don't have any discs that I want to put into my Series X. Number one. Number two, if it would be $100 cheaper version of the Series X, why wouldn't I want it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I'd even be down for that.
I would
That's
too.
yeah. If it's
Yeah.
if it's $399 with no disk drive, and as long as it has the same amount of space, if it's 1 terabyte, I'll do it. But if it's got that 500,
Yeah, I feel you on that.
oh my god, I'm
Yeah.
still kicking myself that I'm really gonna buy a memory card for $220.
If it down the road, yeah, if you might need it because I think you do like a lot more
Yeah, I
different types of
had I
games.
had 8 gigabytes on my Xbox One X, and I've used most of them.
Oh wow. You see,
And it's just like what was it? So games are just getting bigger too. On top of that,
Hmm.
we already have you know shit at 100 gigabytes. Halo's at 100 gigabytes. Both Halos
yep.
actually, MCC and Halo 5, 100
Jesus.
gigabytes.
Yeah.
COD is at 100 gigabytes, but mostly due to Warzone. Um, and
Jeez, man.
Black
they
Ops Cold
just
War was like that. That beta was freaking like 30 or 40. It's just a. It's just got a couple maps on it.
Oh.
got to make those assets look pretty, you know.
Yeah,
God.
it's true.
Because I swear, I feel like that's what majority of that's going to, just making
That's
stuff look pretty.
It is a lot of it is to make stuff
Because
look
it's
very
it's a
nice.
very simple game.
Yeah.
Yo, let me find out these developers really are making these games these massive file sizes so they can put reflections on floors and ceilings and mirrors. Oh
Bro,
my
Yeah.
god!
that's gonna be ray tracing. You know what I mean?
I know. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's pretty. It's nice. But
No, I
man,
hear where you're coming from.
I don't. I don't give a fuck about a shiny floor, man. Like,
Bro, you're
God.
gonna look at that
Me,
floor and you're gonna enjoy it.
I know you're gonna see a reflection and be like, you know what? Never mind. I think my cape flowing in the wind while I'm running through this outdoor kingdom looks pretty nice on the floor. You literally at the reflection. Nah, I don't really care for the reflection stuff as much. When I used to do a lot of PC stuff, I actually always turned off the reflection stuff, or I would at least tone it down to like where it's not eating up a lot of space. And it's just like I don't need all this. Like I don't need to see like shadows going everywhere. Like I don't care what the shadow, like how the sun hits the castle, and the whole entire like half of the buildings are now in a shadow. Like I don't care about that mess. Like I could care less or anything else. So I'm with you on that one.
Yeah, like and watch me too. Cause I'm not gonna lie. I have this side of me that's a graphics nut. I try not to
Yeah.
bring it out all the time, but it comes out anyway. Watch. I'm telling y'all now. I'm saying this now, but a year from now, and I'm calling it. I'm calling myself out right now. On Talk Xbox to Me episode, I don't know, freaking 56, whatever episode we're on, a year from now, I'm going to be deep throating the hell out of this ray tracing stuff. I'm
Oh
telling you,
yeah.
I always change up like that. It's gonna happen.
No, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I am not a big believer of 4K, not at all.
No.
But I went to Best Buy on Friday, and I saw the 8K TV, and I saw a Gran Turismo driving simulator on it, and I literally could not tell if it was real life or a video game.
Yeah. Oh God.
Now,
Yeah.
8K is probably a serious jump.
Yep.
I was just like, what is this?
I, oh man, I think that's what the next console upgrades will be. Is probably the 8K. Like I know Xbox Series X can do 8K
Yeah, it's like native
upscale.
8K.
Yeah. And then, but I believe they're probably going to go full blown 8K, probably like 5-6 years now when they do the Xbox Series XX. Because again, missed opportunity if they don't name it that, and it will definitely have 8K. probably, because like PlayStation, they only could upscale it PlayStation Pro, so I don't know if they're going to be able to afford a full scale 8K. I could be wrong.
That's a
I don't
lot
know.
of pixels, man.
It really is. Yeah.
Can y'all imagine the size of those games? 8K games?
You got to have a 2 terabyte.
Let me see. Actually, that's a good question. Because a great example, I don't even know if I should have it downloaded. Oh, yes, I do. I'm on my Xbox right now, and I'm just looking at Forza Horizon 4, actually. And Forza is a pretty-ass game, but I just want to see how big it is. It's not that humongous, actually. It's only just 88 gigabytes in comparison to all the shooters.
That's not bad.
God. It's so weird that we're saying 88 gigs ain't bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I'm trying to process the fact that we're saying 88 gigs ain't bad.
Oh man, that's true.
Say Ryu, Nevermore. What's up, guys?
All right. Well, I want to go ahead before we get to this topic, the next topic that we have. We're gonna have a little bit of advertisement real quick. Tennek, who was our advertisement today?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, just like last podcast we did, today's episode is sponsored by OPC. Do you guys need a gaming chair? Do you?
Yeah.
Do you? Let me duck my head real quick so I can show you. But yeah, OPC are comfortable gaming chairs sold at opseat.com. If you guys use promo code Tennek127, you guys can get a 5% discount off any OPC or any product or desk from their company today. And don't worry, we will be having a promo code here for Talk Xbox to me soon, which will probably be promo code Talk Xbox or something like that. But for now, if you want to buy an OPC, use promo code Tennek127 for 5% off your purchase today at opseat.com. Nice. How was that? That sound like a cocksucking sellout?
Oh, I almost bought it.
Okay.
I tell you what, I probably would have looked you in the eye in the finish, but
yes,
you didn't have the camera on, so I couldn't. But all right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and jump to our next topic. Now, this topic, I put a poll out, and I will read some of the people's responses. We'll kind of gauge what response we have, and it was a very fun poll, and mostly because I really enjoyed this news. I'm pretty sure all the Xbox people around the whole entire world were just like, hell yeah.
All right.
Microsoft.
So can I interrupt you for 1 second? Because we do have one request on the podcast for Shiny. Shiny, apparently you have a request from Aki.
Oh,
she told me to tell you to stop rubbing your nips.
Oh, wow. See, this is why I turned the camera off real quick.
I was not rubbing any nips. And this is why I didn't want to hear the suggestion. As soon as I heard the name, I was like, oh, okay. I know what this is going to be.
Oh, man.
It was going to be a time monster.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, what I was going to say was Microsoft has officially bought Bethesda ZeniMax Studios. Now, I put out a poll out. Basically, go ahead and give a nice round of applause, boys. We are going in strong into this generation. Oh my God. I couldn't even imagine right now how the PlayStation hardcore fan base must have felt. They just, Well, I put out a poll and got some good feedback, some responses. A lot of people that I know and trust over the years gave feedback to the poll that I put up. So before I read that poll, we are going to talk about what does this mean for the big titles, Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Doom series. All those series, what does it mean? Like, what would you like to happen? What do you think will happen? And I will go first. I honestly think Fallout is going to be exclusive to Xbox and PC. Elder Scrolls since everybody and their mother has been waiting for Elder Scrolls, will be cross-play or cross-platform.
They need to.
Then you do too? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, the Doom series I think will be exclusive to just Xbox. No PC for at least a timed exclusive. No PC, no PlayStation, no nothing. And I say that is because I think Xbox needs another shooter and another RPG under its belt. And RPG is going to come into play with Fallout. Fallout could be a timed exclusive, at least for PlayStation, but we're talking about maybe a year. This is just my opinion. This is how would like to see it. Doesn't mean it's going to happen, but if it did, it'd be pretty interesting. But I really do believe Fallout should be exclusive to Xbox and PC. There's one thing you're never going to have is for an Elder Scrolls game or a Fallout game being just Xbox. Mainly because, let's be honest, like Fallout and Elder Scrolls came from PC.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't make any sense. Like even the very first game, I would say that even came to console, came to Xbox, and that would be Elder Scrolls Morrowind. And man, that it was great. It never came to PlayStation. I don't even think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I am wrong, but did Oblivion ever go to PlayStation?
Yes.
Yes.
It did. Oh, okay. I don't remember seeing it on there. I don't know why. But
it was very late in the on PS3.
Oh, it was very. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
like,
why. Very
when the
late.
PS3 came out, it came to it, I think, like a year or two after its launch.
Okay, and that makes sense. That's why I didn't see it, because I was on Xbox. So I will say that is what they're going to do. Let me get my sentences correct. I apologize. That is what they are going to do, in my opinion. I think they're not going to even come out with Fallout on PlayStation or Doom on PlayStation for about a year or two. And that's just going to suck for them because, even the Sony, like, hardcore fan base, I like to separate the Sony hardcore fan base from the Sony fan base because they're both separate.
Yeah.
The hardcore fan base, they are like, oh my gosh, exclusive this, exclusive that. And then what happens once Bethesda gets bought, or ZeniMax Bethesda gets bought out? They start crying. Oh my God, I hope this is not exclusive. We really want to play the game. Okay, but why were y'all sitting there saying how badly Xbox needs exclusive and then pointing at us and laughing at us? Now we have a possibility of getting an exclusive, and y'all want to sit there and be like, oh no, please be nice. That's like, no. All right, we're going to get this exclusive and you're going to take it. No, this is how it is. But I do believe that the permanent, the new IPs that they come out with will be Xbox exclusive. I believe Starfield, it was called.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think Starfield will be exclusive. This is just my opinion. And Tennek, what's your opinion on this?
All right. So I think that there's multiple ways this whole thing can go. First off, we do got to look at who's in charge when it comes to all of this, Phil Spencer. The only reason I don't believe that a lot of these games will be permanently exclusive with Xbox is because that's just not Phil's style. Now, at the same time, he could be at his point where, he's like, all right, I'm fed up. PlayStation don't want to play nice. I'm going to play hardball next gen. He very well could, snatch up a few games and say, haha, how you like that? I honestly have no idea. But what I personally think he's going to do, I think he's going to take a lot of the multiplayer franchises like Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout 76, and things like that. And I think he's going to take those and push for crossplay harder than ever in a lot of those games. That's one thing I think that's going to happen. A lot of the multiplayer franchises are going to support, the whole Xbox ecosystem example. And eventually they're going to do some type of, exclusive exclusive new IP that's just Xbox and PC, but it's going to have some type of some crossplay element to it. Because one thing about him is he's grabbing all these exclusive games, yes, but he's going to want to take advantage of that whole ecosystem brand and thing that he's touting. So I'm expecting a lot of these new IPs to have like some type of multiplayer element to them. But at the same time, Setsuya, you drove a good point earlier too that we do need an RPG. I don't know so much about a shooter because what I personally think when it comes to shooters is I think Halo Infinite is going to be 343's last chance. And the good thing about Halo Infinite is it's going to have that free-to-play multiplayer, so if they screw up in the beginning, they have the chance to take the community feedback, fix it, and do things right. And better than they did with Halo 5. But I do think Xbox really needs a solid RPG, especially with the lack of Fable this generation, the shutting down of Scalebound. Who better to grab to make a solid RPG for your platform than Bethesda? As long as they just don't launch it as a buggy mess like they do with all their games.
That's true.
But I don't know. It's hard to say what he's gonna do. I don't know if he's gonna be the nice cool Phil that he's been since he got in charge, or if he's gonna get into this next gen and be like, all right, Sony wants to snatch everything up from us. Let's snatch everything from them. I don't. It's hard to tell, but I really think he's gonna play a lot into his whole ecosystem kind of thing that he's been trying to build.
Yeah.
Okay.
Personally, there's things that I want to happen and things that I think is gonna happen. So for the ones that I want to happen, literally just make Elder Scrolls 6 PC and Xbox only, no time exclusive. Just make it PC and Xbox only.
That's gonna sting like a motherfucker. It will be hot.
I ain't gonna lie, I'd like it though.
And then make Fallout a time exclusive, because even if they do buy Fallout, they still get money to Xbox. Like, you buying an Xbox property, you giving money to Xbox. It doesn't matter. What's the other one? Doom. Doom, I feel like would fit so well into being an Xbox exclusive, like just an Xbox exclusive.
It would,
because it's a shooter. And on top of being a shooter, it's a solo player shooter that makes you feel really good, and it's very over the top. And for future IPs, I want to say that they would be Xbox and PC only. Well, majority of them. Some of them I feel like would still be all around. And then most of them I feel like would be Xbox and PC exclusivity. So, as I like to call them, the non-exclusivities, which means like when I mean that, I mean like they go to everything besides the other side. So the non-Sony exclusivity and the Xbox exclusivity, like Final Fantasy 16 right now.
Yeah, I mean that Final Fantasy 16. I believe that's timed exclusive.
I think so. I've read some articles hearing something about time exclusivity. I'm not necessarily sure. I wasn't sure if it was like a hunch that was time exclusive or like if it is.
Okay. All right.
I don't want to interrupt, but we did get a comment that points out that makes a very good point, and I'm actually glad that he brought this up. So thank you, Dynamite Wolf. But he just brought up something solid when it came to Bethesda. We're talking about Doom. We're talking about Fallout. We're talking about Elder Scrolls. Shooter-wise, we forgot about Quake.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know what? Yeah. We did forget about Quake. Wow, man. Quake, I remember that on the old school PC days back. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like I was saying earlier. Say, this really is 343's last shot at Halo, and they blow it. Making a bomb-ass either retail or free-to-play Quake, or hell, bringing even that one that came on PC like 2 years ago. What was it, Quake Champions or something like that?
Yeah.
Getting that on the Xbox platform, crossplay. That would be something dope they could do too.
You know what? Wait, does Bethesda doesn't have Unreal Tournament, right?
I don't think so. You know what? Let me look that up right now. That's a good question.
Yeah,
I
I don't think they do, but at
Yeah,
the same time, I feel like they do,
want to say yes.
right? Because
God, I
like
missed that game.
yeah, because I remember it playing it on the Xbox with Xbox Live. Oh man, I remember that. I remember playing it. I still remember one of the maps that I liked. It was like two
Nope.
towers.
Epic Games and Digital Extremes.
Oh man, I really liked it. Well, I was gonna say, man, we get some Unreal Tournament and Quake and Doom, do like a
Yeah,
mashup, but I guess not.
that would be lovely.
But yeah, oh man, it really would be. Whew. Well, that's okay. It's Quake would be amazing. Quake, I would say, could be an Xbox exclusive as well. PC, PC obviously, but let's say PC and Xbox exclusive, but possible only Xbox for a little bit, just to kind of test the waters, just to see how it goes. I think Xbox would need to kind of test the waters when it comes to more exclusive type games. And I think what better way to do it would be probably a Fallout or a Doom or an Elder Scrolls. Now, when it comes to Elder Scrolls, though, as much as I would love for it to just to be on Xbox, oh man, that would be hilarious. I would love to see the news cycle on that. That would be beautiful. I do think pissing off the PC gamers might not be a good idea.
Oh man.
We don't want to piss them off. Like we kind of, Microsoft goes hand in hand with PC and Xbox, so it's
I mean, to be fair, they can still get the games. We still got to play anywhere, even
yeah.
as an
Yeah.
Xbox exclusive. You would just have to be on Windows, like the Windows store.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
They could just limit it to Windows 10 and not put it on Steam.
Which still
ooh.
makes people mad, by the way, but it is what it is.
Hey, you know what? That's not a bad idea though. I mean, you put it on the Windows Store, where they can still play it on PC, but you can't play it on Steam. Oh well, what are you gonna do? Of course, I say that because I'm on Xbox and I only have Game Pass. I don't have to. I can say oh well all day, but I would like if they did that. That would be a pretty ballsy move, especially Elder Scrolls 6, where how many people are just like dying over to play that game right now. Whew. That's not coming out until about 2025 though.
Right.
So that's gonna be a hot. Well, maybe not that long, but it's gonna be a bit. But what would also be awesome, just to before I read this poll, if Obsidian was now able to do a Fallout New Vegas remake or just make a part 2, which one ever. I don't care which one they do. They can do both. But because Xbox does have Obsidian as well, and they've arguably, now this is a whole different topic. They made one of the best Fallout games, Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my opinion. That's completely opinion based. Like for
Don't worry,
me,
it's an opinion that a lot of people agree with. So
yeah, it's just like, man, I really love New Vegas. Like the only thing that I would say about New Vegas, I wish that I would take from Fallout 4 and put it in New Vegas is the ability to completely join the Brotherhood of Steel and that be the main faction. And again, because I love the Brotherhood of Steel, that's my favorite faction in Fallout. So that's the only thing that I would do. It's just like put them in there so I could just turn all of New Vegas into controlled by Brotherhood of Steel. That's just me though. But yeah, and so let me read this poll. I put on and if anyone else for the future wants to go and vote on our polls, and we do post a lot of stuff on our Twitter page, and I try to keep it as active as we can. Like sometimes I retweet a lot of stuff, so it might be a little overwhelming, but I do put up polls, and Tennek puts up polls, and Shiny can put up a poll as well in the future if he wishes. just go to @talk Xbox to me. Very straightforward, simple. But here's the poll. With Microsoft buying ZeniMax and Bethesda, what Bethesda game series do you think will be exclusive or timed exclusive? We will discuss the poll results on a podcast episode. Now, the results were 73% people voted that Elder Scrolls will be a Xbox/PC exclusive or timed exclusive. 27% think Fallout. Now that's a pretty fair poll. Now,
Mm-hmm.
also keep in mind that I have a lot of built over the years of Elder Scrolls fans. Some Fallout, but mostly Elder Scrolls because I was on a Elder Scrolls gaming network and everything else. So take that voting with what you want. Now, here's one of my friends that, in his opinion, this is what he said, Lotus of Doom. If he's listening or listening later on, I'll make sure I tag him. He says, in my opinion, larger franchises will be cross-platform, and the draw is obviously getting them included in the Game Pass. Now, this is very true. I believe Microsoft has said that all the Bethesda games now and in the future will be on Game Pass, so we don't really have to buy it. Well, we will for support, but perhaps they will have a timed exclusivity as well, but I'm unsure if it's even necessary. Smaller titles I could definitely see being exclusives though. Example, Prey, which I forgot about that game. Prey, I forgot about it, truthfully. Now, that's what he says. Now, also one of my other friends, Arcaneer, says, while his logic says if one ends up as a timed exclusive, which he says, I really don't think there will be a full exclusive on these series. The other one will also be timed exclusive. So that means both of them will be timed exclusive, if. However, for some reason, Fallout feels like a game that is more prone to being exclusive, so he voted for Fallout, which I agree. I voted for Fallout as well. I went up to my profile, went to the poll, and voted for Fallout. So I agree. I think Fallout, to me, has more of an Xbox feel. I don't know why, but I just feel it. Maybe I associate more shooting and more post-apocalyptic stuff with Xbox. I don't know why I feel like that, but I do. So I think Fallout personally will be more of an exclusive choice for Xbox going forward. Could be wrong. I know Elder Scrolls has a very, very strong fan base, so that's another reason why it was probably so high in number. But yeah. So what do y'all say? Oh, there's one more. I apologize. Shattered CYN. There, though, is no argument to me that there will be incredible hype for the next main Elder Scrolls game, whereas the next main Fallout will be shrouded in will it even be good controversy, which he means by Fallout 76, Fallout 4, which he
Of
says that
course.
which he said he loved those. But let's be honest, 76 had a lot of negative feedback to it. Some
Yeah.
for good reason, some a little overblown. But he said incorporating mainstream games, it seems more win for Elder Scrolls. That's a high possibility. It's so. What do y'all think? Well, we gave what we thought, but what do y'all think about those answers that they gave?
Um,
Does it kind of sound like all of us like pretty much just agreed with that, or everyone has their own little
I agree with the last one a lot because that is how Fallout is seen nowadays. Um, like, is it even gonna be good?
yeah, it's
Um,
fair.
yeah, it is a fair like notion though, because because of 76 and the game before that, Fallout 4 is technically my first. It's my first Fallout. It's my
Oh,
first entire Fallout playthrough. I played a very, very small amount of Fallout 3. Um, so Fallout 4 was my first one. It was good to me because I never played the other ones. But I can definitely see how coming from the other ones, like coming from the older ones and coming to this, you might be like, "Oh, this is trash." Just it
Huh.
it happens in quite a bit of video games. So Follow isn't the only one it happens to, but Follow is the most popular one. You heard it happen. Like for
Yeah.
example, Monster Hunter is actually having a little bit. There's always that argument in the Monster Hunter community of um, from the old school Monster Hunter games to Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter World is a fantastic game, and everyone will admit that. But everyone kind of feels indifferent about balancing from the old Monster Hunter games to Monster Hunter World. Some might say it's easier. Some might say hunters are too strong. That type of thing.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that's true. I would say Fallout would be my guess. Would pretty much be a little bit
Yeah.
more going forward. It would be because I remember with a lot of stuff with 76, it seemed like it was just all downhill almost, honestly. But they've made some improvements. It's gotten better. Now I think you can make a faction choice between two factions. I haven't tried it yet, so I can't say how that went. But I've heard a lot of good things. I haven't heard anything negative lately, so that's a plus. I'm a big Fallout fan, so I've played Fallout since Fallout 1, the very first Fallout back in PC in like 97, I think it was. Yeah, it was in the 90s. Because I remember Fallout Tactics and when it had like GameSpy Arcade and all that fun stuff, which I don't even think GameSpy Arcade is even around anymore. I know it's not actually. And so, yeah, I would definitely agree that it'd be a little bit rockier. But I just feel like Fallout has more of an Xbox feel. I don't know why. I think it's also because like radiation and Xbox is like green. So it could just be it could just be like a color thing where it's just like green.
Right.
And so yeah. But what do you think, Tennek? What do you think about the poll results?
I think they're pretty on par with what we were saying, and a lot of the comments are a little close to how we were viewing things. I do agree that another Fallout game would probably be a little bit worrisome on the community. A bit. I do think when Bethesda decides to come out with another Fallout, or whether it's Obsidian and a New Vegas sequel or a New Vegas remake, whatever happens in the future.
Okay.
Um, I do think for the sake of the game's reputation, the developers should slowly keep the community updated with development over time, because some of these franchises, they really are on like a last straw with the community. The community's tired of failures or this not coming out right now, not coming out right now. Me personally, I enjoyed Fallout 3. That was the first Fallout game I played. I liked 4. I didn't get to finish 4. And New Vegas was pretty fun too. And Fallout 76, I didn't mind it too much. It didn't really bother me. Now, you guys know me personally. I'm an MMO guy. I'm used to games as a service type things. If a game starts low tier and expands over time and gets better, that's nothing new or weird to me. A lot of people criticize me for liking that style, but I mean it is what it is. I've played a billion MMOs, so if it happens with any other type of game, it's not really something crazy to me. Like me personally, I think Fallout 76 a few years from now is going to be a pretty dope game. But yeah,
Yeah.
I can definitely see why everybody felt the way that they felt in those in the comments. I definitely think Elder Scrolls and that side of things is probably going to be more of the flagship that everyone's looking forward to in towards next gen.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like right now, Elder Scrolls Online even is going really strong. I mean,
Yeah,
honestly, if it wasn't for Elder Scrolls Online, I think people would have been a whole lot more annoyed and mad about Fallout. I mean, Elder Scrolls 6 not coming out for a long time, because now you have a big gap. Where's like you have Skyrim, and then without Elder Scrolls Online, what are you gonna do? I mean, at least with Elder Scrolls Online, you get constant updates, you get DLC,
Yeah.
which have been phenomenal, by the way, lately. So it's, at least Elder Scrolls has had some stuff going on. Not that 76 hasn't, but at least it's going on pretty strong. But right now, that's pretty much. I think we all said what we could say on that topic. So we're gonna go ahead and change topics real quick, unless anyone has anything else to say. Any closing?
So what I was gonna say about the 76, if 76 would have came out, I think people would pay with the.
Hey, Shiny, I think your audio is going out a little bit. Just heads
Yeah.
up.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So what I was saying was, I think if Fallout 76 came out earlier, they would be okay with waiting and or looking for like be okay with what happened to it, and a lot more players would be into it. But now that sort of thing kind of happens a lot more frequently, and people are kind of getting tired of it. And the thing I'm talking about is like a game comes out, right, and then it's not great, and it's like below average, and
Yeah.
then people complain about it, and then they fix it, and then it's just like, you guys could have delayed this, and it could have came out better. We could have got a better game from launch and just been happy. Everyone would have been happy.
Yeah.
Now, I understand, like, because I play MMOs too, like Tennek. It's just like, I understand having a game at like not as great a state, but MMOs have their games at an okay state when they come out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some
Most
games
of
are
the
like
time.
Destiny 1. When it came out, it wasn't too great. Even though I didn't mind Destiny 1 when it came out. More like Destiny 2. I really hated Destiny 2 when it came out. Initially.
Huh. Yeah, when Destiny 1
Really
first
hated
came out, it was pretty good. Yeah, I would definitely say that's where most of the, if it would have came out sooner, well, a little bit like a while back, it probably would have did better. But I think a lot of people are just getting kind of like fed up with constant bugs and things that are messed up on Bethesda's part, and they kind of just rushed it out. You could tell 76, it was rushed. You could tell it was.
Yeah.
It was unfortunate. I'll say that. So, did you have any closing statements on that topic, Tennek? Anything you want to add?
No, not really. I pretty much said everything I wanted to say regarding that.
All right. And I think it's getting a little bit late, so we'll go over one more topic.
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah, because it's like we're getting like an hour or something. I have to get back inside for starts texting me. We're gonna go over real quick for the people at home, just to see what specs are what when it comes to the S and the X. Just if anyone has listened this far and they're like, you know what, I just don't understand what is what. And admittedly, I'd be one of them because I don't know nothing about this stuff. Tennek, we are going to hand that part to you. Lead us into the next generation. What specs are going to be what? And yeah, you have the floor.
Okay. So a lot of people I see confused when it comes to the Xbox Series S and X and things like that, and I actually did a little breakdown video on my channel if you guys want to check that out as well. When this goes live on YouTube, I'll actually put a link to that video in the description so people understand it. But for starters, and to make it clear, both consoles are next-gen systems. The thing about next-gen and the current-gen consoles is this current generation of consoles, and as I'm sure you guys have seen, they're not bad. They just have really crappy CPUs in them. They're known as Jaguar cores. They're very, very outdated. From what I heard, the PS3 CPU is actually better than the CPUs in these current consoles now. But this is basically what's making up the big difference in the next gen systems. They both have 8 core AMD Zen 2 CPUs. The X is clocked at 3.8 gigahertz. The S is clocked at 3.6. You're not going to notice any kind of difference with that whatsoever. The biggest difference between these two consoles is the GPU, which, if you were comparing these to a gaming PC, this would be what's called your graphics card. The GPU in the Series X is RDNA 2 GPU, 52 CU cores, 8.25 gigahertz. The Series S has the same thing, except it's 20 CUs at 1.5 gigahertz. That's where their power performance comes in. So basically the difference between these two consoles literally is 4K 60 and 1440p 60. That's the only true difference between them, besides, the amount of memory in them, of course. Series X is 1 terabyte, Series S is 500 gigabytes. But it's really just about where you're at in gaming right now. Like, if you have a big, broad 4K setup, go for the big boy console. But if you're still chilling on a 1080p, 120 FPS monitor or whatever, go for the Series S.
Okay.
But both consoles they're both next gen compatible. Of course, with the X you get the Blu-ray drive and all that stuff. But it's the main difference here. Like I said, guys, this is what you'll see. When these consoles actually get out in the wild and stuff like that. The main thing that's going to make the change is that new CPU. So don't let people with the whole teraflops this, teraflops that thing, blah 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 blah, fool you. Yes, on paper, the Series X is the most powerful with a GPU power of 12.1 teraflops. The Series S has 4, makes people think by default the Xbox One X is more powerful. The Xbox One X is always going to be held back because of that Jaguar core. These new Zen 2 cores are what's making the next gen stuff next gen. It's not as much about the graphics cards this time. It's more about the CPUs and the GPUs. I hope that makes sense.
A little.
To dumb this down, basically what you're saying is that if you care about graphics, get a Series X. If you don't necessarily care about graphics, and you only really care about the loading times that you're going to get because they use the same CPU, well, similar, then you're fine with getting either or.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
CPU is just going to be the processing, how fast your game is going to load, and how well your system is going to run.
Yeah, that makes sense, because the only thing I really cared about was the speed. I just get tired of waiting so long staring at a screen saying loading, and I'm like, why do I have an Xbox One X? God forbid if I had an Xbox One S, or the super old Xbox One. Oh, I couldn't imagine trying to load up a Red Dead Redemption 2 or.
Oh yeah, the S and the X. I'm not gonna lie, there is a big difference between them visually and loading times. Oh my god, you guys should have seen.
Yeah.
There are so many times where I've brought my my Xbox One X to Aki's house, or I'd be playing it here at my house side by side with my cousin, and the graphical difference would just be noticeable on the TVs, and one of them would just be like, "Oh, you trying to flex, huh?" I'd just be like, "Nah, I'm not."
No, it's.
It's
oh
just
man,
there. And
that's funny.
And that's how I knew that the difference between the two consoles was serious, because they don't care about graphics. I do. I can pick up those things easily. They can't. And the fact that they could see it clear as day, I was like, all right, so there is a pretty big noticeable difference here. But I promise you guys, when it comes to the Series S and X, that difference is going to be a lot smaller. The main thing you're going to get improved here next generation is frame rate. And I don't know if a lot of you guys have been watching the videos of content creators showing the Series X and the PS5 and stuff like that, the main two things that have been improving are frame rate and loading times. And I don't know about y'all, but those have been the biggest two complaints about this generation. So the fact that those two things are fixed in both consoles, I could care less which one I buy at this point.
Yeah. Honestly, yeah. I just care about loading speed and frame rate. And I know that sounds like, oh, well, you just get the X then, or Series X. And I could have, but I didn't. Yeah. So I'm going with the S just to kind of test the waters, like I said, just to kind of see what's out there. Right. You know, so I think the Series S is good for testing the grounds. The Series X is good for that as well. But if you just really want to test the grounds and then set up camp. So, you know, that's I guess that's my take on that. That's pretty good though. I mean, thanks for the specs, man. Because I tell you what, I was watching so many videos, going, "Oh my god, I don't even know. Should I just spend the extra $200?" Like,
nah, man. It's literally like I said, the main difference in these next gen consoles is that CPU. That's going to change things a lot for developers and games. And honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if this console generation lasts a lot longer than the previous two, just because of the CPU difference. Like I'm talking the difference that we're going here is from like something like a Ryzen 3, like what I have in my PC now, to like a Ryzen 7 or Ryzen 9. The difference is going to be huge. It's not gonna be like from a PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 2 graphical jump. But the things that they're going to be able to do with that extra processing power, that's where we're going to see the differences. And Nevermore, you actually brought up a good point. No one has shown that for God knows what reason, because that would be the ultimate test of these consoles: the GTA loading times. If you can load GTA fast, you win, hands down.
Amen. That's one of the games, man. I'm sitting there like, why is this like? I would literally walk away, use the restroom, go put something in the microwave, heat it up, sit back down, and be like, still loading.
Yep.
And I'm like, come on, man, yeah, that's ridiculous.
GTA takes like a week and a half to load in.
It does, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. Oh, that's okay though. That's all right. You know, it's gonna. I thank God it's changing, because that's all I cared about. Like, if Microsoft asked me on a poll or something, or a survey, I would have said loading times and frame rate, and that's it. Yeah. I couldn't even care. After that, I'll just be like, okay, whatever. I don't care what else. Yeah, it's the only two things I care about.
I had a 4K TV. Don't get me wrong. It's nice and everything like that. I don't know. Maybe I didn't care about it as much after I got it because the previous consoles weren't as good with 4K. Maybe I'll grow to like it more this generation, but it wasn't that jump that I was expecting. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. I saw enough 4K to just be like, all right, look, I'm completely fine with 1440p 60 or 1080p 120. I mean, hell, that's what I game on now with my PC. So.
Yeah, I mean, you know, So I'm pretty much good for.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's 60 FPS or higher, I'm happy.
Yeah. I don't really. Yeah.
Like, I don't need 120 frames. I don't need 140. I just need a stable 60. If you can do that, yeah. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Do whatever. Throw in all the textures, assets, whatever you want. Just give me that stable 60. If I see 59 once, I'm gonna be pissed. Just that smooth 60.
Oh man. That's what I'm hoping the S does not do. Like, it doesn't go to 5960. I want to see a solid 60.
No, I wouldn't doubt it. Maybe with some next gen titles that could be a possibility, but
like some MMOs in the future.
Yeah, because like there, especially MMOs, you guys know that those things push PCs, man. You can only hold so many frames when you got 20, 30, and 40 people at a world bus.
And are doing anything.
Shit. Yeah.
Yeah, oh man, I love my MMOs though. I've been playing MMOs since like 1997, and I have not stopped. And I would do anything to get an amazing MMO on a console just to run at 60 frames rate. I would be like, yes, yes, I would love to spend the 500 on that, man. Though my wife wouldn't, but I would. Oh man. All right, well, yeah, that's But thank you for breaking down the specs, though. I do appreciate it, Tennek. I'm sorry we're not gonna have time to get to the other topics. It's it's
I mean, that's all
unfortunate.
good. That'll make the next episode even easier to plan.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the two next topics, I think it kind of worked out in a way, because the next two topics for next episode just kind of give everyone a sneak peek. Xbox game download sizes versus PlayStation game download sizes. Now, next episode will be later October, and that could work out because maybe PlayStation will finally put out some freaking information out there. So,
Yeah.
so that maybe we'll be able to talk a little bit more at length about it. So, and then the next one is just kind of like Phil Spencer, head of Xbox, basically says they're going to keep on making consoles even after the Series X and S. So we're probably just going to get our opinions on that and what could be what. So,
Right.
But yeah, I do apologize. Like we have to kind of cut it a little bit because it's almost 12 o'clock at night. So, and I'm in my car. So I'm pretty sure if anyone has probably walked by and said, "What's this guy doing in front of his apartment?" I'm moving soon too to a much bigger place. So it's no one wants to see all my packaged stuff in my apartment with boxes everywhere.
Right.
So that's why I kind of made a judgment call on that. But yeah, let me go ahead and put my camera back on. But yeah, so this was a good hour and 30 minutes, though. I do appreciate you guys coming out here talking with all of us about Xbox, and I appreciate everyone else coming out here as well, listening to us talk about Xbox. And we also will be doing at some point, maybe this episode, I'm not sure, but we will be putting out podcasts on iTunes and Android apps, podcast apps. So we will be going a little bit more further out in the audience. So if anyone misses an episode, you're like, oh, I can't really listen on YouTube right now, or Twitch, I can't pull it up. Well, you're in luck, because we will be putting this bad boy on there, so you'll be able to download it. Or if you had to cut off throughout the episode. But anyways, Tennek, where can we find you at?
Oh, of course. You guys already know where I'm at. You'll be able to watch this episode if you missed it today on youtube.com/Tennek127. Check me out on Twitter. You guys are obviously here watching my Twitch channel, so you know where to find me on Twitch already. And also, if you are watching this on YouTube, be sure to look down the link to the description below, because Setsua and Shiny's Twitch channels and Twitters will be down there as well. Make sure you guys give them both a follow on their social media. And yeah, that's about it for me.
All right. And Shiny, where can we find you at?
That's the Twitch link down at the bottom. You can also
Oh.
find me.
Your audio's out again.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so what I was saying was, besides the Twitch link down at the bottom, you can also find me on YouTube under the same name, actually. And it's going to be the same icon on my Twitch channel. And I have a video up right now talking about Resident Evil Resistance, and I'll have up some more soon-ish.
All right, I'll be sure to put your YouTube channel in there as well.
Talking
Gotcha.
about Destiny stuff.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, Destiny is always a fun game. I really like that one, especially like now that the DLC's on Game Pass. I think that's amazing.
Yeah, they're gonna be parody videos for me.
Oh, nice. Oh man, I love Destiny. Right when it first came out, I could go. That would be a different episode because I like talking about Destiny. Well, but yeah, and for me, you could find me in multiple places. My Twitch, obviously. I don't do too much streaming as I should, mainly because I'm in my apartment. But like I said, I'm moving to a much bigger place. So I will actually be streaming a lot more. I know, it's exciting. Like, because I'll be in my living room while everyone else is sleeping upstairs. I'll be downstairs. It'll be quiet and, everything. I don't have to worry about waking a 3-year-old up, because that will be my fault. And if he wakes up. So, and other than that, you could also find me on my Twitter at Setsua28, Setsua28. That's my personal Twitter. So you might see more other stuff than gaming. Asylum will tell you that if he's in the chat right now. Yeah, you might get tired of me a little bit, but don't worry. After November 3rd, it should be okay. But
Setsua, I meant to tell you too.
What's that?
You keep getting Asylum and Vane mixed up.
Oh, do I really?
Yes.
Oh man, you know what? I probably do.
Asylum is the one that's gonna be popping on as a co-host to do lore with us sometimes. Vane is the one on Twitter.
Oh, okay. Oh man, you know what? My bad. Well, I made someone mad. And, whoever I made mad.
Yeah, that was Vane.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, Vane. But just ask Vane. Oh man, that's funny. So yeah, that would explain a lot actually. Now go for it. If you want to go to the main Twitter for Talk Xbox to me, you can follow us at Talk Xbox to me, exactly like how it sounds, just TalkXboxTome, no uppercase, just straightforward at Talk Xbox to me. Other than that, I don't really know where else. I mean, I could give you my Facebook, but nah. And or my Instagram. I do post some workout stuff, so I am trying to kind of do some motivational workout videos with some of my friends.
You're trying to be sexy, huh?
Yes, I am. I mean, hey, man, I got to get that eye candy going for you. You never know. Oops, I forgot my shirt. Oh, well, we're live. No, I'm joking. I would never do that. No. But, yeah. But, yeah, you go to my Instagram. I actually, right off the bat, I couldn't tell you it. That's embarrassing. Because I don't use Instagram that much. I just now recently started using it. Okay. Whew, man, I need to change that. Terry288838. I don't know why I did it, but I did it. And other than that, I don't really have any other closing topics to go over. Anything else? Shiny, is there any closing things that you want to say to everybody to close the show?
No.
Okay.
No.
Right. Tennek, how about you?
Like I always say in the videos, until next time, peace out. Take care.
All right. And everybody, this is Setsua saying to everybody, ad Victorium, and stay healthy and be safe because the whole COVID thing. That's pretty much it.
All right. Good night, guys. We'll see y'all in the next episode. Thanks for coming through.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah.